All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown. And Kane Brown, we did one Zoom over pandemic, but this is the first time meeting you in person. How are you?
I'm great. Hated Zoom, but I'm great. How are you?
Okay, it's not just me. Zoom is great technology. I get it.
Yeah.
But I am so over it.
Yeah.
There
was no energy. There was no vibe, you know?
I think when I was talking to you, you were like probably in your pajamas, in your bed, or like, chilling. Like you were like just relaxed. I probably was I was lucky to have pants on.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I just didn't know how far we were going to take it.
Okay, before we get to the nuts and bolts of the album and all that stuff, the title, Different Man. Walk me through, because I think you said you titled that because you're a different man on stage than you are, say, in person. Walk me through the title. Give me some of that.
Yeah, so man, honestly, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. So when I first started Different Man, it was basically just like, I remember working at FedEx, and I never wanted to, like, when I was loading boxes in the truck, I was like, there's no way I can do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
So I was like, I have to do something. And I thought it was sports, but it wasn't. And music was the next step in line, next thing in line. So I went with music, and it worked out. But to me, it's like there's a lot of people that their parents set them up for, they have something planned out for them, right? Like the doctor or a lawyer or following their footsteps.
Why is it always doctor and lawyer?
I don't know. It's like the big thing.
Crazy,
I think it's in movies a lot. So that's, but yeah, that's like always the thing. So I just wanted people to know that you didn't have to do that. Like, you can create your own path. Like, anybody can do it, especially today with TikTok and everything that's going on. It's ridiculous. But then it like moved after, I've been working out, and then also I had 2 kids. Like, I've actually found myself on stage. I've been happy, performing live. Like, everything's been different about me. And then once I released the album, I saw a lot of comments, like a lot of naysayers that are like, oh my God, this album, I understand Kane now, and all this stuff. And it was like, now I have a whole another thought of this process of Different Man. And it's like, I'm just a guy that's in country music, that loves country music. I'm a diehard country music fan, but I also don't want to be stuck in this box. And this album's just letting you know that I want a little piece of everything.
The fact that you're sitting here talking to me shows me that, you are taking over the pop world as well. That's goal number 2, I'm guessing, right?
I wouldn't say it's a goal. I would just say it's like, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
here.
Of course.
But no, man, I just love being different. I feel like, especially in 2022, I feel like that's where the world's going anyway right now, is everybody's different, and it's coming out, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. You just be different, be yourself, and do whatever you want to do.
I think those format boxes are becoming a little more, the lines are becoming a little blurrier now. You can you can do anything. Yeah, I totally agree. The album, Different Man, we talked about the title and why you named it that and all that good stuff. For people who aren't familiar with the album, and we're talking to the country audience, they're all over it, obviously. But you're I wouldn't say you're tiptoeing into the pop world. You're kind of jumping in here to a degree. I'm not sure what, I don't know if you agree with that or not.
No, you can say whatever.
You're jumping in the pop world here. Talk to this pop audience. What do they need to know about this album? Clearly, it's more country than pop.
Yeah, it's definitely more country than pop.
But yeah, give me a little something on the album itself.
I would say, I've got the song Grand on there. I have a song called See You Like I Do on there. It's kind of like R&B-ish. And then I have a song on there with my wife that is an amazing singer called Thank God. And she is just an amazing singer. Came from the pop world. Used to be managed by Johnny Wright.
Oh, wow. I know Johnny well. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like her big break with me. I'm so glad to have her on the record. It's doing so well for us. But basically, like I said, I love all genres of music. All of my songs have been with other features like Marshmello, Camila Cabello, Khalid, Sway Lee, Sam Fisher, her. I'm running.
God, you're going through the Grammy Awards here.
I just love pop music, and it's like my thing. So Grand was the first song that we did without an actual feature, and I was kind of nervous. But that goes to Different Man. It was like, I don't care what anybody thinks of me anymore. And I think it's going to having kids. It's like, as long as they love me, that's all that matters to me.
Right.
So we were just like, you know what? Like any other day, if this was 4 years ago and I wrote Grand, I would have never put it out unless I had a feature on it. And now I was just like, let's just do it.
Things are working out on this album, man. You guys must check this album out. By the way, side note, Is your wife going to be coming out with the full blown project as well? I assume that's where that's leading, or no?
I don't necessarily know that. All she's talked about was us doing like an EP together or an album, and then possibly like her just doing demos in Nashville.
It's going to happen. I'm telling you, right? It's going to happen. It just the fact you talking about it right now, and she's on this album, and her history and her back. I'm just putting it into the universe.
Yeah,
okay?
we just don't want to be separated. I mean, even if like she would come on tour with me, that'd be awesome.
Kane, you've toured a lot. Tour coming up, obviously. We'll get to that tour in a second. But I love crazy road stories. And I've talked to so many artists where they've had the bus breaks down. Somebody steals the equipment. They left a band member in another city. You seem like a guy that would have some pretty wild.
So many stories.
Give me a good one.
Man, but they're all kind of like what you've already just said.
Bring it on.
Well, I got one bus story. Excuse me, of breaking down. It was like 30 degrees. I think we were in like Ohio or Michigan somewhere. It was super cold. And our bus broke down. They sent another bus to get us, and that bus broke down on the way to get us. So then they sent another bus. That bus picked us up and broke down on the way to the show. And after that, we ended up having to drive in a van to the show.
Let me guess, that van broke down too?
No, the van didn't break down. We left the bus company after that, though. It was ridiculous. We probably broke down maybe 20 times during that whole year.
Dude, how'd you get to any shows like that? I mean, that's got to be super frustrating.
It was bad, man. And then another story is, she's not in here, right? Yeah. She still works for us. But there's another. I was in a hotel, and it was funny because she had just left my best friend in the city, and then made him find a way back to the next show. She was like, either you can pay for the gas, which is super expensive for a tour bus. You can fly back to Nashville, or you can find your way. So he had fans pick him up. He tweeted and was like, who's going to the show? They picked him up and brought him there, which was like a 6-hour drive.
That is crazy.
I said, if you ever leave me, everybody's fired. She left me the next week. It's like 7 o'clock. I wake up, and I knew our bus call was at 7, and I'm like, nobody called me. Nobody texted me. So I called, and then I hear a sleepy voice on the other phone. She's like, hello. And I'm like, where are you? And I hear the bus driving down the road. And she's like, we're driving down the road. Where are you? And our bunks were across from each other. I was like, just open your curtain and look across, because I knew my bunk was open. She's like, where are you? I said, I'm still at the hotel. What did I say if y'all left me? Everybody's fired. But nobody got fired. But still, they left me. They had to drive 2 hours back to get me. It was crazy.
How do you leave Kane Brown on the Kane Brown tour?
They left me, man.
What did they think was going to happen? Like, they're going to do a show without Kane Brown on the Kane? Okay, that's just funny. You wrote, to my understanding, you wrote Grand with my buddy Mike Posner.
Yep.
Here in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Mike, because I find him, and working with him and all that. I've never written anything with him. Obviously, I don't write music, but
you should.
I should. That's a good point, or not. But he's such an interesting guy, and he's super motivational. So, did he get you all hyped up on walking across America or going to Mount Everest? Because he's one of those kind of guys that you feel like after you talk to him that you got to do something, because he's done all this stuff.
Yeah. No, he's a room full of sunshine.
Isn't he, though?
Yeah, and I wish you would have met. Have you ever met Cam Alexander? Probably not.
I have not, no.
Cam Alexander is the same way, but he's very spiritual, and it was all three of us in a room together. There was no bad vibes and all good energy. And Cam actually already had the song Ain't Life Grand, and it was all done, but it wasn't me. So we kept the title and changed everything else. And it was basically just me in a bad spot during quarantine. I was depressed and everything. And then I started looking at my family and realizing that life was amazing and all this. And then I get in this room with Mike and Cam, and like I said, it was a room full of sunshine, and it was just like,
Ain't Life Grand.
Yeah, it was just it was awesome. It was such a fun ride. But it was so funny because afterwards, I was like, oh, sick. Like, I just met Mike Posner. Like, it was awesome. I kept getting random FaceTime calls from Mike, and
here we go.
He was just like, dude, like, you know how he talks. He's like,
yeah,
dude, this song is so awesome, man. Like, I love it. Like, are you gonna cut it? Blah 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 blah. And it was just every other week or whatever, and it was just so cool. Like, Mike's calling me. I don't know, man. He's an awesome guy. I would recommend anybody to hang out with him. He's a cool dude.
I have a kind of an ongoing bit with him where he'll come in, and I've been interviewing Mike Posner for, I don't know, 10 years, 15, whatever it is. And every time he comes in, he knows I'm going to slip it in at the end of the interview. I'll be like, all right, Mike, I got to ask this question. He'll be like, oh, here we go. Can you put me on your album somewhere? Just like say something just in the background. And he says no every single time. So next time he comes in, I'll ask the same question. I'll tell you right now, his answer is going to be no way. So if you can put in a word for me.
Play it. You should. Can you record this?
Yeah.
You recording this? Do it.
There you go, Mike. This tour coming up, 2023, Drunk or Dreaming tour. Man, you seem like a dude that, like I said earlier, sort of said it earlier, you seem like a guy that loves the road. You love live performing. Talk about this tour. What do you love about life on the road? Or maybe or if you don't, give me that too.
No, I used to not. I used to only want to be the artist that would release stuff on like iTunes, and just sit back and
do nothing,
play Call of Duty, you know?
Right.
And now I've found a whole new love for touring. Found out how I want to be on stage. Like, my band's crazy. Just the production we bring, I always want to be a part of that. And like, used to I just let everybody set it up, and now I'm like hands on. And Alex beside me, I don't know if you can see him, but he's a big part of it. And just create visuals and have fun and actually talk to the fans. And that's what I love about doing shows is people say I'm very intimate because I tell stories and I'll ask people if they relate to me, like if you were in front of me. There's this one thing I always say. It's going to get really personal right now.
Okay. Do I respond to this or?
You can.
I guess, just give it to me. Yeah.
I have a song called Learning. And so I had I went through a lot of child abuse. So on stage, when I'm setting up my song Learning, I'm always like, the first time that I'd ever been beat by my stepdad was I had this dream. And so I would look at you in the front row, and I'm kind of making funny. When I start drinking, I turn into a comedian. So I'm like, have you ever had a dream where you're going to the bathroom, but you really ain't in the bathroom? And you have to answer this in front of 10, 12, 15,000 people.
I have, yes.
Yeah. And so that's like things like that. I just get really personal with it. And I feel like I have a lot of fans and everybody that tell me they're like, I really like how you engage with the crowd.
Okay. Have you had a dream like that?
Yeah, and I got beat for it.
That's dude, of course you wet the bed when that happens.
Yeah.
Another question about tour, as I left turn this kind of quick. I'm told that you are a guy that you hate being barefoot.
Yeah.
And I've also talked to a ton of artists that they throw their socks away on the road and just buy new ones on the road. So like, are you like where? Yeah, are you personal to like your socks are a thing? Like you love these specific socks?
Not specific.
You just gotta have like
these are my favorite socks. No, not specific socks. I would just say I have very like sensitive feet. Like, so if I walk, it's really weird how much.
Man, we're getting wet in the bed and sensitive feet.
It's really weird how much padding socks have. I don't know if it's because I wear like the Nike socks, like the basketball socks. But
right.
Like, if I walk outside on concrete, if I'm barefoot and I step on a rock, I'm screaming.
Such a visual.
But if I have a sock on, I'm good.
See, the reason some of these artists throw their socks away because packing the space is limited at times. So they'll toss socks out and just get new ones in the city. Same thing with underwear for some of them. But I guess you're keeping these super slick Nike socks. Things you didn't know.
And underwear take up the least amount of space. I feel like they're either dirty or they just forgot something.
Maybe people just lie to me. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you use a hotel alias? Or do you know what that is?
Yeah. Other name?
Yeah, fake name for a hotel and whatnot?
Yeah.
Don't say what it is, but do you have one?
I do.
All right. Have fans ever figured it out?
No.
Do you have an old one that you can reveal?
No.
So you keep the same one?
No, but I can do my wife's.
Don't give the one she currently.
But she doesn't use it because. But this was for when she was in the hospital.
Right.
When we were having our second kid, we had to do an alias. And what'd she say? It was Celine Houston. It was Whitney Houston and Celine Dion.
So that was her.
And they were like, we can't use that because it's somebody that's actually here or something crazy. We were like, what?
Somebody named Celine Houston was giving birth
at the hospital or something. We couldn't use the name for some weird reason. And yeah, that's a story that we always tell.
Have you ever had the issue of what, the purpose of these, of hotel aliases for people who don't know is when people, keep privacy, keeps your name off the list, and when people check in, they ask, hey, when they walk up that, hey, is Kane Brown here? And they'll look at the little list, and
no.
Sorry, there's no Kane Brown here. But the only problem I've come across is if you lock your keys in your room and you go down and say, hey, I need Kane Brown's keys. And they're like, there's no Kane Brown here. Then you have to go, well, my is Spider-Man on the list? Whatever your fake name is. And you don't have you ever had one of those issues?
Well, my security guard does not give me my room keys, so I can't leave.
They don't trust you at all, do they?
And second, the only encounter that I've came across is Wi-Fi. I'm a big gamer, so I always take my Xbox.
Right. So
a lot of the times it takes me longer because I'm like, is it under my name? Because we just started using it recently, like 4 or 5 months. So I'm like, is it under my name? Is it under my, other name? I don't ever know my room number.
Dude, you're like me. If I'm left unattended, I'm just a big mess. I'm good on the radio. Yeah. Aside from that, I'm a big old mess. Are these hotel aliases, as I love them so much because they're just kind of fun and kind of rock star and whatnot, are they more trouble than they're worth, or do you think do they actually help?
Honestly, I kind of want to tell you mine because when they come in and I order room service, and they're like, they tell me my name, I just feel like a bad.
I have breakfast for James Bond. You're like, sure, bring it on in, whatever. All right.
Actually, hold on. Can I say it and then we'll just do another name? We'll just change the name.
Okay, now what is it?
Don Julio.
Shut up.
So they always come in. They're like, Mr. Julio. I'm like, yes, sir.
No. So now, well, if this leaks out,
no, I'll change it.
Yeah.
Change today.
This track, Grand. Let's play this track. This thing has it's just spectacular, Kane.
Thanks,
man. You went through the writing process with Mike Posner and your other buddy and whatnot. What else do people need to know about this track?
I think this is just a track that shows you that everybody. I mean, I go through depression all the time. My wife goes through anxiety. Perfect for each other.
Right. Yeah.
If you're ever feeling down on yourself, just look at life around you. I know everything's bad, but for me to be happy, if I'm in a bad place, I always look at something that's worse. And then to get out of it, I always find something that makes me happy. Like for me, it's gaming, or it's me being around my family, or me being, just going out for a drive, listening to positive music. Like this song for me was actually helping me more than anybody else. It was just saying like, get out of there,
Like find that thing that does it for you.
Yeah.
There's something there if you look hard enough, more than likely.
Yeah, because, there's so many bad things that people think about and that people can do to themselves.
Right.
That can be prevented.
Kane, 2-part question. Biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And then the complete flip of that. Have you ever been, hopefully not, but have you ever been booed?
I think the biggest was Houston Rodeo. That was 74,000 people.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then the boo. So if you go to a lot of places, I've found this out, there's a lot of chance for their sports teams or somebody that plays for them that their name rhymes with boo. So if it's in your ears and you just hear people screaming, all you hear them saying is boo. And it's like, I can't say it on the radio, but like, what's going on, man? But then they come on talkback and they say it. But then the only other time like I've really been booed is like if I'm in Alabama. I give Alabama so much because, Georgia Bulldogs were national champs.
Oh, that's not pretty, I'm sure, right?
So, yeah, I'm like, y'all can boo me. It's okay. But I asked them to. But, yeah.
Hey, speaking of the Houston rodeo, 70+ thousand. I mean, what's that like? When you have 70,000 people in the palm of your hands? That's got to be a rush that is hard to duplicate.
It was surreal for me because it was like that was a loud pop when I just popped that. It was surreal because it was my first time playing there. You're in the center of an NFL stadium. Everybody around. I had got thrown into this thing off Facebook, like when I got into music. Just started headlining, and then 74,000 people, and I'm the only artist on that day.
Wow! So
it was, to me. I'm small town Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. Like just got done working FedEx. 74,000 people singing my songs. I was, it was crazy.
What a rush, man.
Yeah, it was wild.
I grew up in Houston, live in LA forever,
Nice.
but I grew up in Houston, and I would go to those. Mom and dad brought me to those rodeos, and the fans are in the stands, but nobody's in the arena because that's where the crazy bulls are running around.
Yeah.
Then they take a truck and they haul you to this center stage.
Felt like a WWE star.
Dude, it's wild, right? I mean, and there you are. The crowd is probably, that's got to be a little bit weird because the crowd is probably,
Can't see him.
50 yards away from you.
Yeah.
So, but to have 70,000 people palming your hands, just a rush.
Yeah, you can hear them. And I honestly, you not being able to see them, actually, to me, that helps me out.
Oh, yeah?
It's almost like just a fun, super, super fun band rehearsal. Because you can't see the crowd, but you can hear them. You can hear them singing your songs, but you can't, like, there's no pressure there.
That's pretty wild.
Even though they can really see you. I don't know. It's the way my mind thinks.
Kane, you mentioned FedEx a lot during past couple of breaks we've done. Were you working at FedEx up until the music took off? Like if FedEx one day, music the next.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get sponsored.
Right?
No, so I was working at FedEx whenever I started doing it. It was my first big boy job, right?
Right.
I was making I was working at Lowe's and Target making $7.25, and then FedEx I was making $11.90.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then 6 months I was about to become a driver, and I was going to go up to $17.50. So for me, I was like, oh my God, like this is a big boy job. I was hype, and literally the day of that I'd worked for 6 months, they told me that I had to move to Nashville. And I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, what if, like, this is my first job I've ever had that I'm going to be making money that I could probably support myself without having to use my nana or anybody. And you're about to make me just throw all that away to move for a dream. And I did it. And
thank God you did it.
Yeah.
And when you went to your FedEx boss, whoever they were, and Lowe's, and you said, hey, I'm going to leave this, this new promotion, going to Nashville to do music. To some people, that sounds just straight up crazy. What was their reaction?
Well, luckily I was already doing it on Facebook, so they knew. Like, I would take breaks and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go sing this song in my car," and my boss would be like, "All right." He was really cool about it. I kind of messed up because I didn't tell him I was leaving. So if I tried to go back and get a job, I probably wouldn't be able to. But, but yeah, he was really cool. He actually let me slip out all the time, and actually ended up letting me make my own hours before I moved to Nashville.
Kane, last time I talked to you, the only other time I've talked to you was on that Zoom interview a while back. And I told you that I'm obsessed with the paranormal. Ghost, UFOs, all that stuff. I can't get enough of it. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I'm off the deep end. And you told me a story. You kind of teased a story. So I think you said something about a house you lived in.
My pop's house.
And a room you wouldn't go into. Mm-hmm. I've been waiting till now to hear that. What was that story, if you can say? I
don't remember which one. I have so many. I don't remember which one.
Give me
but the room that you're talking about was the room that was behind my pop's closet. You could see it was like wood panels. Well, like wood panels with the black that's coming down.
Right.
Like if you look at old houses, you could see through the black part between the wood panels.
It's so thin right there, right? Yeah.
And you could just see the room behind it, and you could see light coming in from a window in the room, but there was no door to get into the room.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Is this a paranormal story or just a weird construction kind of a story?
That might be a construction story, but with the house and everything else just made it creepy because it's built on an Indian burial ground.
Oh, here we go.
And there's so many stories I could tell you. We could have done the whole thing on the story. But one of the things I'll tell you is I'll tell you about the time my nanny died, because this has actually happened to me and I didn't have to, hear it through somebody or my pop. But so my nanny had just passed away, and she used to collect cookie jars and dolls. So when you walk in the house, she had 150 dolls and 150, 200 cookie jars. And I actually have one of the cookie jars in my house, and everybody that comes over, even Alex, thinks it's creepy as hell. And so she passed away, and I'm talking to my Aunt Linda in front of me, and we're sitting at the kitchen table, and it's like 10 o'clock at night, and we're talking about my nanny, and all of a sudden, so we're in the kitchen. I don't know if the camera can see me. So the kitchen's right here. You walk through a hall. Like, it's an old house, so the heaters are on the floor. It's like wood floor with a heater. And then there's the bathroom. and we're talking about my nanny, all you hear is, and it's the shower curtain getting ripped off ring by ring out of the bathroom.
What the?
It's not like the whole rod fell, bro. It's you hear every ring getting pulled off of the shower rod. And I'm like 12, and me and my aunt walk in there, and my aunt's like, it's okay, and she's holding me, and I've been terrified of that house ever since.
And what other explanation?
There's no explanation.
What else would pull the? I can't think of anything.
No, all the rings were broke. If the rod had fell, I'd be like, oh, okay, it just fell. They were all ripped off.
And did she have a? Did
No.
she? Why would she? Yeah, why would she do that? Was she trying to get your attention or get? I don't know that.
I don't know if it was her or not.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Now, what about God? You said that she had all these dolls.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen Annabelle the movie and all. Man, that's got to be a big old 150 dolls. Oh
It was
Lord,
crazy. Bro, I'm talking. I couldn't watch a Braves game without 1,000 eyes on me. It was crazy.
good Lord. All right, one of these days, I know your schedule is nuts, but one of these days, I want to get you back in and just do all the paranormal stuff that you've encountered. I want to go through all of it.
I've got 6 stories, probably 6, 7 stories that I've actually encountered, and then I have other stories that my pop, rest in peace, he just passed away last year, that he's got, that he told me.
I want to hear everything and every little detail, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to hook that up. The album Different Man, it's out. Get on this. Of course, Grand, it's out. But probably the most impressive thing I've heard is the fact that you are, to my understanding, a Guitar Hero pro, and you can beat most people by using it. This can't be true.
No, I think it's a little
Something
messed
about
up in there.
I was told you can beat people by using your feet on Guitar Hero.
If you play on easy, I can beat you with my feet.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've clearly tried it, and you're fairly good at it.
I can play a medium and pass songs.
With your feet.
Yeah.
So like your left foot is on like the
Yeah, so I strum with my right toe, and then the
button's on the left.
Yeah. But when I get to the blue and the green, it gets hard because then you got to like spread your feet. And I wear socks, so
There's
it gets
that.
difficult,
We know them socks are serious. Good God. All right. Are there any videos of you doing this?
No. I haven't done that since high school.
Is Guitar Hero still a game that comes out on a regular? I haven't played Guitar Hero in a while, but
no. But we just have you ever heard of Tim the Tap Man?
Yep.
Yeah. So we just did his Tim the Tap Man tailgate in Dallas, and what was I 10-0 against his fans that are all gamers. They all came and played me. I beat everybody.
Good for you. Oh my God, Kane, do you recall looking back, your first? Oh my God, I think I might be getting kind of famous moment. Do you recall that moment?
Yeah.
Fame is a weird word. Some people don't like the word fame, but you know what I'm talking about.
I completely get it. Yeah, so for me, as for everybody not listening, I got started on Facebook. I think my first big notice would be when I wrote my song "Used to Love You Sober," and put it on Facebook and released it. And I was battling, I don't know if I know you do, Thomas Rhett.
Oh, yeah.
So he had just released Die Happy Man, which was like the song of the year. And I remember the only chart that I had to look at the time was iTunes. And we just kept going back and forth on iTunes, me and him.
No kidding.
And I only had Facebook. Like I didn't have radio or anything. So I remember just seeing the views. I had like 200. So for me, Facebook was all about shares. I remember I had like 256,000 shares, like not likes, but 256,000 people putting it on their Facebook, and then going back and forth with Thomas Rhett on iTunes, and then the record label reaching out. I remember going in my bathroom and like crying, like just excited.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
The label reaches out. That's life-changing, man. I mean, it really was.
It was crazy, yeah.
Speaking of fans loving you, have you seen fans, have they approached you yet with tattoos of maybe lyrics or your face or anything like that?
Yeah, a lot of fans have been coming up to me and asking me to sign their arm, and like wherever I sign it, they'll get it signed there.
Oh man!
So I just had that done recently. I forgot what we were doing the other day, but some fan just did it the other day. But it's been done a couple times. No
pressure. Like every time somebody, of all these stories I've heard, like sometimes the artists will get the hey, sign my arm, and it's for a tattoo. And every time they do that, they screw up it's like they're I guess they're under so much pressure. Like I have to make this this autograph perfect.
I make mine perfect. I'm like, you're getting it tattooed. It's gonna be on you forever. I'm gonna make sure it's good. I'll put a little heart on there. I might color it in.
Autograph my back. Just do it. Do it now. Kane, before I play number one, what is your friends, your family, all that's all the inner circle that's been with you forever? What's their reaction to this success you've had so far? Not that you don't have other places to go and things to do. I get that, but you've had a fair amount of success. What's been their reaction?
I would say my super close friends and family are very like, I'm proud of you.
Right.
You can definitely tell the difference in the people that you want to keep close around you, because they're all, I'm proud of you, and that's all it is. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. The ones that are super excited start asking you for things.
Got like, keep the one eye on them, basically.
I bet you're excited, yeah. So it's like, you definitely find out who really cares about you. And that's been the hardest thing for me. I mean, like even going to like Christmases or Thanksgivings, it's like I don't even go anymore. And then my family that actually cares about me come to my house and they're like, I understand why.
Man.
It's crazy.
Same question to you. What's your reaction to all this success?
I'm in a million years would have never thought that I'd be here. I've always dreamed about like doing music when I started doing covers, and I was like, you know, maybe I can sell out like 2,000 people bars or whatever, cap bars. But I mean, I'm blown away, and it's just insane.
That dream you had, man, it's happening like now.
Yeah, I mean, even it's definitely taken off way more than I ever thought it would.
Grand, it's out. Of course, the album Different Man, it's out. Get on this tour in 2023. You're going to come back at some point and do my podcast, Paranormalish, because I want to hear all them stories, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. This is you're serious.
Serious.
All right. What else do people need to know about Kane Brown? What am I forgetting?
I love you. That's it.
And he always has socks on. That's another thing.
Always socks on, and I always want you to be blessed and happy and just love life.
All right, Kane, at the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little bam.
Yes, sir.